everybody, it's Neil with the Dastardly Gentleman. And with me, I have Frank. Say hi, Frank.
Hi.
One of these days, we might have a different kind of intro.
Look, stop. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. You're fine. Everything's fine.
Um, it's only the two of us tonight, because, last time was a little chaotic, but good.
It's
It was good.
just the two of us.
We could make it if we try. Anyway, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about memes. As far as I remember, back in my day, memes. What were memes, Frank? I mean, they were basically just like. I think it started with like "You're the Man Now, dog." Maybe. Do you remember that website?
Yeah, yeah.
And like it was just pictures or gifs. Oh shit! Sorry, Kyle. It's not a Dickies cup, but it's a Dixie cup. Is that all right?
No.
It,
Because now you just need like the great big plastic, cheap 99-cent store sunglasses and the flat brim douchebag hat.
I'll wear my tap out hoodie that I got from my brother.
Oh, stop. Look, well, that was it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining us for the Dastardly Gentleman. It's over now. We're breaking up the band. I gotta go. Bye.
I'm gonna go kill myself.
That's good. That's a good start.
Anyways, memes. So it was animated gifs and like sounds. That was all. You're the Man Now, dog. Which that website still exists if you want to go there and take a trip down memory lane.
I'd rather not.
Why tmd.com. You're the man now, dog.
Stop it. Don't tell people that.
Um, it's dead there now, but it's still active and alive. But anyway, so memes were basically just what, like making fun of what?
Taking like a picture or a GIF and then putting words to it and making it situational or whatever. Like somebody does something stupid, falls down some stairs. You're the man now, dog.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, and it was always in a humorous fashion. I mean, that's all memes are for the lulls. Lately though, memes have gotten kind of out of hand.
They've become like this anti-culture revolution.
Yeah, like, hi, I'm from the internet. Like,
Yeah, it's like when did we start investing so much power in what the fuck 4chan thinks?
I know, right? Like, I just don't get it. Like, it's like a statement. It's like I'm proud to be a fucking nerd that spends
Yeah.
most of my time staring at a computer screen. Like, I mean, I do that too, but I'm not exactly gonna tell everybody I'm proud of it. It's just kind of what I do.
It just happens.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
gonna
mean.
I'm not gonna start a revolution based on my shitty fucking internet habits. Like,
Well, I think like at this point in the last couple of years, we've seen such a trend of people being just almost absurd to a degree that the only way that people can really respond to it is by something that's equally as absurd that points at it and is like self-referential and how absolutely crazy it is. Where like whenever like you get to a point where things are so bizarre or so backward or so crazy that you have to use a cartoon frog to describe how bad it is. That's I think that's why, because I mean, like, you can say it in the media, you can say it in written publication, you can say it on a street corner, but it's like everybody knows that. But then you can say, it feels like you can say a lot more with just like a fucking meme from the internet where people are like, yeah, that perfectly describes it.
yeah, I mean, it's I mean it's just an attempt at satire, it seems, but I don't know. I mean, leave the satire to the pros, in my opinion.
But like at the same time, like I mean, that's the thing about the internet, is that it opens up the avenue to like let everybody be in on the joke.
Right. That makes
So
sense. Sure.
I mean, so it's like you have like with the Guy Fawkes mask. now it's become, before it was just sort of like a comic book character, but now it's become this symbol of anonymous resistance to freedom.
Right.
And so then now, like, you have people taking that same vein with internet memes and using them as an expression of their freedom and as a resistance tool in different things.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I agree with I agree with this.
Read it for us. Right.
Memes, when they started, were funny. Now when I see people attempt, quote unquote, to make memes, not only is 90% of them not funny, you can tell that sometimes Grandpa is trying so hard to be funny, and I just roll my eyes. 100%. 100% agree. But anymore, it's like with a meme, you either get the people that are trying too hard to be funny, and then they're not. Or they're, on the flip side, they're not trying to be funny at all. They're trying to make a statement.
Right.
And it's like, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between the two, other than like ones that are genuinely funny. But I mean, like 90, I mean, like, I would even go even higher. I think Kyle's absolutely right. 95% of them that try to be funny are just either just garishly stupid. And they try to walk that fine line between being offensive and trying to get shock humor.
Yep.
And most of the time, a good, again, 90 to 95% of the time, miss the mark substantially. So I think Kyle is just totally right. They're confused on how it works, because so Kyle says they're actually confused to how this works. 100%. 100%. A meme is born almost by accident.
Right.
I mean, it's just like you have somebody who saw something funny, they put words to it, or it was a situational thing, and then now everybody applies it to a whole bunch of different shit, and then it becomes a meme. If you try to force a meme, it just doesn't mean anything. You know,
Sure.
I mean, it's like if you try to like coin a phrase and you try to make that your phrase every time, it just becomes awkward and silly if it doesn't actually resonate, but you think that it's great and it's just you.
Yeah.
It's like, now you're just that asshole. I'm funny.
It's so sad. Not
It
so
is.
much.
It is sad. It is sad. It's very sad.
So let's talk a little bit about shock humor then. That seems to be rampant nowadays. Like, who can be the most fucking offensive and still get a laugh out of it? Like, some of the shit that people say nowadays, or like even in meme form, is just like, if you said that like out in the open, you'd probably get your ass handed to you by several people simultaneously. Like, you don't fucking say that shit, but since you're behind your fucking computer screen.
Yeah, the safety of the anonymity of the internet.
I'm actually like, anytime I see any of these shock humor things, like sometimes it's kind of funny, like oh shit, that's fucked up. But sometimes, most of the times, it's like you're really trying hard at the expense of hurting a lot of people. Like,
Yeah. Kathy Griffin.
mm-hmm.
Well done. Well done. I mean, I love the I didn't think that it was going to be, this offensive.
You know exactly what you're fucking doing, Kathy.
So to clarify, in case anybody hasn't seen it, Kathy Griffin did a photo shoot where she held up a bloody severed head of Donald Trump, and she was surprised whenever there was backlash. I mean, some of these comedians that have I never thought Kathy Griffin was funny.
No.
The entirety of her career, I always thought she was a bloated old hag. And so I wasn't impressed with any of her comedy up to this point. And then for her to take a political stance, which to be honest, a lot of comedians, I wish that they just wouldn't. Comedians and movie stars, just keep it out of your, say it over here. Keep it out of here.
Yeah.
But like, you know that you can't do that, especially where she's like, "Oh, I didn't see it as a threat to the president."
No.
You don't think? You don't think? I mean, you don't think that holding a bloody severed head is not threatening at all? I mean, come the fuck on, man. Who the fuck are you kidding? That's like stupid ass Madonna saying she's gonna blow up the White House.
Uh, yeah, you should you're being watched heavily now.
Yeah, I'm like, congratulations,
You're
another bloated old woman.
you're on the list. I mean, it's no different than Ted Nugent saying he wants Obama to suck on his machine gun. Like,
Yeah, but this is the same guy who did Cat Scratch Fever. I mean, it's just like I'm pretty sure he wants to sex up Obama. Machine gun, penis. I mean, because it's all about the delivery. Like, I mean, like, if you think about it, like how Ted Nugent would normally say stuff, I want Obama to suck on my machine gun. That's a threat.
yeah.
But you got to think about like how he probably actually said it. I want Obama to suck on my machine gun. I mean, that's how I read it. I felt like it was vastly less threatening.
Oh man, like okay, so when Kathy Griffin did her shit, like nobody was actually justifying it. Like nobody fucking justified it. Even liberals were just like, dude, you can't do that.
She literally lost everything doing it.
Yeah, and then in the same token, while they're saying that to Kathy, they're like, okay, so any of you fucking, conservatives saying that what Kathy did is, awful and, violent and blah, 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 blah. Where were you when Ted Nugent was doing that shit? Like, you were like, oh yeah, good job, Ted. Like, you fucking hypocrites.
Yeah, but I mean, Ted Nugent says shit like, like I want to shoot the president. Okay, I mean, how many people since the dawn of the republic have always said I want to shoot the president?
Sure.
Literally from the very fucking beginning. But I mean, like Kathy Griffin is holding up a physical fabrication of the president's severed fucking head. I mean, Donald Trump, or sorry, Ted Nugent says it. I mean, like he says it. It's in. Yeah. Oh, that's just Ted. Kinda.
You just really have to get to know him,
Yeah, I mean, he's a douchebag pretty much all the time, but then you kind of get used to it, sort of like a dick in the butt. Like the thing about like with Kathy Griffin is that like she put it like kind of like in easily consumable media. Because Ted Nugent will say shit and it's written down. So like he says it in interviews that are transcribed, and that's where like he gets really offensive.
No,
but like Kathy
does
Griffin
it in front of cameras. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, but most people probably don't even know who the fuck Ted Nugent even is anymore. I don't think. I mean, like, if you go to high school, they're like, did you guys listen to Ted Nugent? Who?
Cat Scratch Fever.
He did Cat Scratch Fever. I don't know what that is.
You don't ever watch, the commercials when you're watching Cartoon Network in between?
Is that a dubstep song? I mean, like, come on. But I mean, she put it on easily consumable like mass media. She put it on Twitter, didn't she? Some shit like that.
I think it was like in a magazine, and it kind of just blew up everywhere.
That's kind of even worse. I mean, like that should shit on the fucking magazine too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad if she did it, but I mean, whoever published it should probably get their nose rubbed in it too.
Oh yeah. I mean, the photographer, everybody that agreed to that shit, like.
I wish that I could. It's one of those. I wish I could be in the room whenever someone's like, "You know what we should do? We should cut off a mannequin's head and bloody it up and look like the president." Pow, man, we're sending a powerful statement that we don't want to work anymore.
Like, how high are you?
Yeah, it's like they open a closet. There's some dude in there, like just got like a huge bowl of peyote. Like I have the best idea. The rest of the photo shoot was deemed inappropriate because it would be like naked riding a unicorn while the severed head, and you got like a 3-foot dildo as a saber. I mean, like that's the rest of the idea.
Yeah. So I mean, what we saw was the tame version of
that was the PG.
So okay, what about the stuff that's happening at colleges, Frank? This memeing at colleges. Tell me about it.
Well, I know that. How do you say it? Pepe?
Pepe. Pepe the Frog.
Pepe the Frog is making. I mean, I guess I can't even really say making like a major appearance, but I know there's a school in Washington, a college in Washington, that is presently being hounded by a baseball bat vigilante group, which, to be honest, whenever I saw their picture, which first of all was laughable because most of these people had to probably go like buy the baseball bat and be told like, what, how do I hold this? This is heavy. Do you have a lighter one? That was terrible. The group of people was just awful. But it made me immediately think about Kung Fu Hustle and the
Right.
Axe Gang.
Oh yeah,
I saw like their picture and I'm like dun 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 dun. But they hate everything, like anything. They're so super left.
right.
Bye, Rage. Have fun. I have internet issues too. But they're so far left
Hmm.
that they're virtually right. And if you say anything, because they're all LGBTQ, and that's
Right.
fine, but they're hateful of everything. I mean, like if you're they're one of those, if you're not with us, you're against us. But like the only difference being that like they actively assault and push you around and attack you in the streets and shit like that at this supposed college. And so there was a guy that was drawing Pepe the Frog and everything, and then he was writing like because they were spray painting on the walls this anti literally anyone that isn't part of the LGBTQ community or isn't far left, all this hateful rhetoric.
Right.
And so this guy was drawn over that with drawing chalk stuff over the hate messages and writing stupid shit like Limp Bizkit did nothing wrong, which they did. That was we should have done that last week.
They did a lot wrong.
Wrong. Fred Durst is a very upset fellow. Um, but so this guy and his group of friends are using internet memes or referentially for internet memes to combat what they view as being an attack on the school system.
Right.
So like we because he also writes along with like he puts Pepe down and then he writes underneath of it that college is not a safe space,
Right.
which shouldn't be. Just saying.
It really shouldn't be.
There should be no safe spaces except for your house. Your house should be your only safe space. Don't get me started.
I do agree. I mean, go ahead, get started. Go.
I look, especially with these colleges. So then, like, you have like your safe space. I want my safe space. That's a safe space for me. That might not be a safe space for you. So then, I'm already infringing on essentially your rights to free speech within the confines of this college campus. Now, these people are running around with baseball bats now, attempting to infringe further on your rights to be there. But this is also a private institution. This is something that I don't understand because this same college is supposed to be like one of the most liberal colleges in the country,
Right.
and it has documented video of these students screaming at teachers for minor infractions. There was a teacher that the principal or the dean or what the fuck ever it is at a college is standing at a podium and he applauds for these people that are pissed off at him and hate him, and then they tried to sue him for a microaggression because he raised his hands.
Microaggression.
Microaggression. That's something I had never heard of. To me, there was only ever an aggression, and it usually ended with somebody's knuckles being covered in blood.
Right.
So I mean, microaggressions I don't get. It's like no, I'm usually my aggressions are pretty concise. Well, I disagree with that. Well, you're a fucking idiot, huh? Aggression.
Yeah.
There's no microaggression. Apparently, is like, well, we could try that. No, that's me thinking about it. I mean, like if I really thought it was stupid, I'll get fucking real aggressive. But then, so these kids are running around. They're willing to beat the shit out of people with baseball bats and threaten them while they're on campus in order to secure their personal safe space. To me, then other groups in the college should have their baseball bats, and they should all be in the center, and they should reenact gangs in New York.
Awesome.
That'd be fantastic. I'd go to college again.
Just to watch.
No, I'd participate. I'd be wrapping bats and barbed wire and shit. I mean, it'd be fantastic. I'll champion whatever one can pay me the most. That's my safe space.
We need to make a movie off of this. Like, start writing. This is the plot. Safe space. That's the name of the movie. Boom.
It's safest spaces. And so, I mean, my thing about safe spaces and these colleges is that a college is an elected education. You didn't have to go there. It wasn't like public school or mandatory education. You paid money to go there. So let's just say, like, you go there and you get offended by everything, and then you are upset that something that I said interfered with your safe space, and you want me to be policed. and you're going to run rampant around college or on the campus, and you're going to threaten everybody with baseball bats and violence and push them around and shit like that. You should immediately be expelled. These colleges have been capitulating to all of these crazy people nonstop. Absolutely. Anything that they want to get them, and I don't understand that, because to me, given that you paid to get into college, I paid the same amount of money that you did. You are preventing me from getting the education that I'm supposed to be getting, that I'm paying for. Right. So then what they should be doing, people that aren't involved in this group should be suing the students that are involved in it for loss of educational experience and quality.
Yeah, it's not like because they're money back. Shit.
Right. They're interrupting their classes. They're interrupting the teacher. I mean, do you think the teachers are going to be able to effectively teach, always having in the back of their mind that they could walk outside and be accosted by a group of like some crazy colored hair, multiple piercing lefties? I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I'd be like, yeah, and then do this shit on the board. You see anybody on the hallway? I mean, I want to go take a shit, but I'm afeared that I'm going to get out there and some asshole is going to hit me in the head with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Because I'm teaching civics, which means that you actually have to learn how to fucking be responsible with something in your life and learn how government actually works, not how you think it should work.
Yeah, like what you're saying just blows my mind. Like they had taken over the school for what, several days? Like.
Yeah, with fucking baseball bats, man.
How have they not been raided? Like, I mean, Jesus. I don't understand, like, how it hasn't been stopped, like, after day one. Like, I understand, okay, you get an organized group together, and they push, and they get their way. That should be incredibly temporary.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's how it was, back in the, 60s and 70s, whenever, like, there were major actual civil rights issues.
Sure.
And that's the thing. I mean, like, these aren't civil rights issues. They're pretend civil rights issues. It's like these people were so upset that they were born in the wrong era, they have to fabricate their own civil rights issues. Because, like, at this college, no one is disputing that everyone there should be treated equal, except for unless that you're white, male, and straight.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're any of those, then you're absolute dog shit. But I mean, like, everyone else should be treated equally. I feel like someone missed some civics classes.
I mean, and it's not only that. It's like, okay, so civil rights movements back in the day, they were primarily, like, they weren't aggressive like this. They didn't fucking walk around with baseball bats.
Oh, hell no.
They did sit-ins, and they did fucking, like, protests that were peaceful. What the shit is this?
Because back in the 60s and the 70s, they would fucking kill you if you did.
Yes.
I mean, like, let's just say, like, you get all, like, violent at a 1960s protest to protest for, the segregation or the removal of segregation, allow blacks into schools. Man, you would get, like, you get violent, you watch them Alabama cops fucking throw down on you. They'll be pulling leather on everybody.
Yep.
No one's going to a jail tonight. I mean, like, you watch it. I mean, but like now, everyone's afraid of upsetting people and being caught on YouTube for it.
Sure.
But at the same time, like, to me, it's like, catch me on YouTube. This shit's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's wrong, and I wouldn't mind being like, no, bring the camera closer. I'm about to bust this motherfucker's skull clean open because he was trying to kill this kid over here for walking around with a book. It doesn't matter what fucking kind of book it was. I mean, like, and that's the kind of people that we have. We don't like that book that you're reading, so you gotta put it away, or we're gonna beat the shit out of you. No, this is America. He can read whatever the fuck he wants to. He could be reading the goddamn satanic Bible written by Adolf Hitler. It doesn't make any difference to you. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
But like they want to enforce this misguided, crazy ideology on people, and that's what I love. In this case, that's where I love these memes coming in, because like the meme comes in and it's weirdly, years ago, not even years ago, and year ago, memes were like, usually made by people to be like enormously offensive.
Sure.
But like, hopefully, with, like Kyle said, most of the time not, but sometimes hopefully in a comedic way. But now it's bizarre because it's like almost like a rallying cry of freedom. or arguing against censorship. And I'm like, when did this happen?
Yeah.
I mean, like this is weird. But I think that goes back to that. I think reality has become so fucking bizarre that it's the only way that a counterculture can really express itself.
You got a point there. I mean, like, I understand the need to be heard and understood and awareness to be spread about your cause, your desire to be equal with everybody else. I mean, I get that, the whole, LGBTQT movement. I get it. And I'm with you on that. There's a lot of hate going around. And there's a lot of, I don't like what they do behind closed doors, so I'm going to, hang them from a tree. Shit like that. There's still a whole lot of that going around. But then you get the very extreme opposite of that. You not just going out for, awareness, not just going out to spread the word, you're being violent. You're doing what they're doing to you.
You are the problem that you profess to fight against.
Exactly.
You are the complete other side of the spectrum. And it's like, that if you're on the other side of the spectrum, you're still wrong. That's the problem. That's the problem. Is that these people think that they're so righteously correct, and they're not. They're savage and they're violent, just like the other fucking people that they don't like. The only difference is that a lot of times, like the guys that, the pictures of these people are ridiculous. That they're running around with these baseball bats. I would not really be all that afraid of them. I'm not gonna lie. Admittedly, with enough people with baseball bats, raises some concern.
A little bit.
But it's like I got a guy that's like 600 pounds coming at me with a baseball bat. I mean, I just have to stay out of bat reach, and pretty soon his heart will stop.
There you go.
Just run backwards.
But we're seeing this a lot lately. I mean, and it is coming a lot from the that community. I mean, they're trying to spread a message, but they're doing it the wrong way. I mean, this isn't new. It's happened before. I mean, it happened with the Black Panthers and other groups that were pretty much just fucking militant, trying to for peace.
They get violent. I mean, like, yeah. and they said they have peaceful ideals, but they're willing to kill the shit out of you for them.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm like, that's not how that works, right? I mean, that's not a peaceful ideal anymore.
Like, I don't understand the logic behind it. Why they would do this? Why they think that they're going to be effective in this? All they're going to do is cause an uprising opposite to them. And then their ideal is going to be completely missed and even vilified because of the fact that they're bringing terror with them.
And the worst part about it's you do get to a point, especially with some of these people, where it's like, how much is enough?
Right.
I mean, like because all people as a law at this point are equal. Mm-hmm. Now, some people have like personal feelings, and that'll be wrong, but there is no law that is specifically anti one way or the other. So then it's like, at what point are you going to be satisfied? At what point are you going to stop trying to riot against everything? At what point are you going to stop seeing these supposed microaggressions against everything? Like everything. I mean, anything that these people could possibly do for you, they've done. And yet, you're still threatening people with baseball bats. You're still threatening to follow people home. You're chasing them out of campus. Right. What is your end goal? I mean, like, at this point, you're just being militant. Just be militant.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're what?
Yeah. Kyle, peaceful. Oh, you didn't see it that way. Oh! Look, I am the worst person sometimes to have this particular discussion because, like, I have very, very high standards. But I really don't mind beheading a whole bunch of people to make my point. That's why it's funny whenever I say shit like you shouldn't be violent, because I think violence solves just about everything.
But you're smart enough to know that if your message is peace, violence doesn't create that.
Right. Usually my message isn't peace, so I guess that's true.
I mean, you're smart enough to know violence does not create peace.
No,
Period.
uh, I mean it can if there's nobody left, you know.
There you go.
Exactly. Can't lose an argument if you're arguing the corpse. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, he gets it.
Well, like on the flip side of what you were saying before, I mean, yes, the law does state that we're all equal. I do agree in certain areas and certain situations where the law doesn't fucking matter and people are going to discriminate no matter what. Especially if the people enforcing the law don't give a shit and they put their personal views over the law. And that happens quite often, to be honest. There was a verdict today about a black man that was killed in his car, right next to his wife and his baby daughter behind him, and it was all caught on live Facebook, all caught on video. And the dude was shot in his car multiple times by the police, and police are not guilty. Um, it was all there, black and white. I mean, it was on video. At what point do you not say something? I mean, this is me playing devil's advocate here. On the flip side, at what point do you not say something or not riot or not get pissed off and start something when it's clear as day that cop is a murderer?
Right. We're talking about two totally different things, though.
I
I mean,
know.
like,
I'm
'cause
just
what I'm saying is that like these people, because we're using the Washington thing as the most like readily accessible sample.
sure.
They are rioting and self-policing
Mhm.
and being vigilantes over perceived aggressions and perceived laws and rules that are against them.
Right.
And even earlier I said that individuals there are no laws that are like that they can actually riot against. So there is no basis for them to actually be up in arms. The individual most certainly needs to be held accountable
Sure.
because we are a country of rules and laws. So like in this case where like a cop shoots somebody and it's all on film and the cop is acquitted, then absolutely you need to take to the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to be a civil action. I mean, you need to get out on the streets, let your voice be known, and that's the right way to do it. But that is an actual slight.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Versus like the I guess like then the line drawn is is there actually anything here? Like is there actually a problem? And like in the case of Washington, they want equal rights for everybody who is LGBTQ.
Mhm.
Okay, you have all that. I mean, everything that you say that you want, you have.
Right.
And yet you persist in rioting.
Well, the root of that cause was I think there was a special day that was going to happen in that college that I believe it was just kind of accepted, kind of like Senior Ditch Day, but it was for black people, and it was black people were allowed to ditch for the day, or maybe this was a different college, I don't know, but the same result happened. They're allowed to ditch for the day, because black rights, black history, whatever, I don't know, but yeah, day of absence. That's what Ryan just said. That's exactly what it was. And I think there was one professor there that was still gonna go to work that day. I can't remember the exact story, but he was just doing his job. He was
Right.
just gonna still go to work, and because not there's still gonna be people there, and they rioted against him specifically. How dare you do this to us? You're black or whatever. I Man, I feel like an idiot right now. I should have read this story before I started talking about it. But
No, I mean, but you have enough there that we can actually have like a discussion on that.
Sure.
So I mean, this guy just goes to work, just like an average day. Your perceived slight, or your perceived sticking it to the man. You're not doing anything because again, let's roll it back to what we were talking about earlier. You paid to be here,
right.
so if you decide not to go to school, who the fuck is really losing? You're a fucking idiot. I mean, like you're a fucking idiot to step out of school because it's not Senior Ditch Day is still part of being public education.
Yes.
Now they flipped it around. Instead of African Americans not showing up, they sent out letters telling whites to not show up. Well, that'd have been funnier than hell.
Okay, so it was a white professor, and he showed up anyways because it's his fucking job.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's his job. I mean, but like at the same time, Senior Ditch Day was still part of public school. And if you decide not to show up as a senior, you're still held accountable for it.
Absolutely.
But you are not individually paying for to be there. So then let's just say like you go to college and like, it's this one thing. Okay, so now if I'm white and I'm going to that college, I'm noticeably white. I'm going to go to that college. I will go to that college no matter what. Because my money put me there.
Right.
And if some guy comes up and says, hey, we're gonna do a flipped day where we're gonna have all the whites not show up, we expect you not to be here tomorrow. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, and then for a professor, it's even fucking worse. I mean, like if that's still what it was, if it was a white professor that showed up for his job, no, of course he's gonna show up. He wants to get fucking paid. Why would he not show up? I mean, like that, like even if you're a tenured professor, just not showing, just no call, no showing to work is a huge offense.
Yeah, it's fireable.
Yeah, I mean, like what the fuck? I mean, of course he's gonna show up for it. But if it was me, and I was going to college, and you just told me not to show up, no, fuck you. Why would I not show up? Do you have any idea? I would literally just go to the guy and be like, he'd be like, well, we expect you to be, no, you fucking. You pay for that day for me to not have been here, and then I will not show up tomorrow. But until then, you can pretty much go ahead and...
Yeah, basically. Okay.
That's crazy. I mean, that's a crazy thing. It's crazy that we have colleges that are electing to have days when anyone of any group ever is opting out. I mean, like, again, it's not public education. It's not elementary school. It's not middle school. By now, you're a fucking adult.
Right.
You're living on your own, and you're spending an unbelievable amount of money to be here. You have a responsibility to yourself to show up every fucking day. And it's crazy that you would elect not to. Welcome back, Rage. It kills me. Hey, thank you. Is it Father's Day?
I think it's tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow? Well, it's probably tomorrow. It's probably tomorrow in Japan.
Ah, okay.
Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. Now, Father's Day, speaking of which, if this transaction, goddamn you video games, microaggression shit continues on and persists until whenever my kids are older, they had better not be taking any fucking absence days. Shit like that. Oh, I walked out of school to make a statement. You turn the fuck around and you walk right back in there, or I'm going to be admitting you to the nearest hospital for breaking your fucking leg.
Then you'll have a reason not to walk in there.
Yeah, then you'll have a reason. I mean, you wouldn't want to show up to school today? Well, I'm going to give you a fucking reason why. I'm going to bust your ass in half, and then let's see how you feel about it then. Whenever you have to go to school tomorrow in a wheelchair, then you'll have a reason why you didn't go in.
That's scary.
It makes me so mad.
Well, I think we've made our point on how we feel about all that bullshit.
Memes can be awesome. Memes can be used for justice, apparently.
I think that's so stupid.
It is stupid, but that's the world we live in now.
I hate memes. I mean, I love memes, but I hate them. I hate it when people use them for evil.
I hate whenever they show up all the fucking times. You can't say anything or have anybody say anything without a meme appearing somewhere.
Right. I mean, everything is a meme nowadays.
If you could turn it Simon late, I mean, special circumstances, sure, but I mean, just walking up, being like, "Yeah, I didn't do this yesterday. Can I turn in now?" No. No.
Not even half credit.
Not even half credit. No, fuck you. Whenever I used to run my store, I used to hire all these kids. I remember there was one kid that I helped out. I helped him out. I helped him out, Neil. Out of the kindness of my own heart. Yeah, he came in and he's like, yeah, I'm just he's like, I'm working here, I need the money, but my parents wanted me to do it, and I'll show up tomorrow, maybe do some work. And I was just like, I'm gonna teach you a valuable lesson. I said, I bet when you were in school, they told you that you could do anything that you wanted to, that you could be anything, you could be anywhere, and you'd be the best person possible. He says, well, yeah. I said, I bet they never ever told you, whenever you did anything wrong. I said, I bet they never really held you all that hugely accountable for anything that you did. And he says, no, not really. And I said, okay, come here. I'm gonna give you a leg up. You're 17. I'm gonna help you learn a life lesson right now. You're fired because you're a fucking loser. You're a loser and you're a piece of shit. And I was like, this world isn't about you. It doesn't give a shit about you any more than I give a shit about you. None of the people in this room. And come here. Do you give a shit about this kid? No. He doesn't give a shit about you. Nobody here cares about you. The only person that cares about you is you and your parents. I said, no, get the fuck out. Whenever you go get a job, try to remember that you need to be responsible for yourself and actually be responsible and hold yourself accountable to literally anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, feel free to go home and kill yourself. Because that's what you need to do.
I mean, pretty harsh, Frank, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
I don't spend a lot of my time being wrong.
Well, let me just put it to you this way. God, I'm getting feedback from here. I don't like it. There are a lot of kids out there, with silver spoons, and it's very difficult to not be that way when you've been raised that way. I can almost guarantee you that kid probably would have been like, well, fuck that guy, and learn nothing from it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
that's fine. I mean, but then he's just going to be a piece of shit for his whole life, and I don't care. It doesn't affect me anymore.
No, I hear you, but if you're in one instance, you said you're doing the kid a favor, which is bullshit.
I don't care if it does or not.
Exactly, it's bullshit. But no, I mean, I was kind of like that way when I was growing up. I had everything handed to me. It took me a long time into my 20s before I realized, holy shit, I can't just skate through life. Like, I gotta do things. I mean, my mom's not always gonna bail me out every time shit goes down. I mean, she would if she could, but she can't always.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it took me a long time to realize that, bad things happen when you just let them happen. So, yeah, I mean, that was a pretty shitty attitude. I mean, at least pretend like you care.
I don't, though.
Not you.
Yeah, him. I thought me. Yeah. I was like, no, dude, I can't do that.
No, not you.
Sorry.
No,
I thought we knew each other better than that at this point.
No, like if I were going, even me, when I was going into my first job, I pretended to care. Like, I mean, I want money,
Yeah.
It's like, I go in there and I'm like, yeah, I'll totally work. I mean, I fully slack off and try and hide it, but,
Yeah, and that's fine, but I mean, like, you at least need to put, like, at least put your best face forward, even if, like, you're not fucking really doing anything. I mean, like, I'll notice and I'll probably still fire you within a week, but I mean, like, that's 2 more days.
Yeah.
Of pay that you could have gotten. I mean, this kid didn't even make it 48 hours before I fired him.
Exactly. See what you can fucking get away with. Be like, test your boundaries.
See what you can get away with. That never worked. Never worked.
Not
for long anyway.
It doesn't work, but at least it's better than, I might show up,
I spent a lot of time being like, Brian, what the fuck are you doing? Brian, you're fired. I mean, and it would happen that fast. It's funny, too, because there's a lot of times where people, like, I'd fire people and they'd be like,
really?
Am I actually fired? And, like, my assistant's like, I'll get stuff from you in the back. Let's go.
Honestly, getting fired was one of my greatest fears.
Yeah, I mean that should be a life goal, is not being fired generally. I mean, because isn't being fired sort of like the equivalent of sort of like failing at something? Generally, failure to be avoided.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, sometimes you'll get into a company that's really just gone down the shitter and corrupt with power. Like, I used to work at a company, I'm not going to name names, but it was a call center. And I got fired from that place after 4 years of working there. And, I wasn't exactly the model employee, but I was really good at what I did. and I made the numbers look good. I felt at the time, and I actually openly said this was probably what led to me getting fired, but I openly would say they'd be stupid to fire me. I do like 4 people's jobs here. Which, yeah, eventually, that wasn't what got me fired, but I'm pretty sure that was whispered into people's ears. But
Yeah.
but what got me fired was, I talked to the director there, or we had a meeting with the director, and the director was saying, I don't I don't want anybody to be afraid to ask me questions. I want everybody to feel free to ask me anything they need to ask concerning their job because I don't want there to be any confusion. And then she had put, a really stupid procedure in place. And I asked her, like, why are we doing this? Can you tell me exactly why? Well, blah, 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 this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, but you didn't really answer the question. I'm not sure the actual reason behind it. And her end goal, or her end statement to me was, because I said so. I'm like, that doesn't work. You can't just say because I said so. I need a real reason. Because at the time I was a supervisor, I had to be able to justify it to the people below me. I'm like, nobody's gonna like this. You gotta give them a reason so they'll accept it and be behind it. Otherwise, the because I said so bullshit isn't going to fly, and they're not gonna believe in it. They're just gonna half-ass it. So if you can give me something I can give my employees to believe in, and they're like, at the time she's like, all right, Neil, come into my office. You're gonna get written up. I'm like, what? I'm just asking questions. Like you told me I should. And then, shortly after that, I got written up again because I was asking more questions, and I got fired. But this was after a huge, change in staff. Like, she was the new director, and then she appointed a whole bunch of people that were way below and pulled them up real quick. Turns out they were all sleeping together.
Oh, imagine how that fucking nepotism.
They were all sleeping together, and eventually they all got fired. There's a huge scandal.
But were they all sleeping together at the same time?
I think they were taking turns.
That's unfortunate. That kind of ruins a lot of what I had envisioned, because I thought that would have been way cooler. Like, they just shut the place down at night, push all the desks to the side, and then they throw out a bunch of pillows and stuff, and they just just fuck like crazy.
Just put a tarp down.
Yeah, be like, some fluids will fly. I apologize in advance.
Smells like sex in here.
You're like, I remember every time I sit down at my desk, it smells like old bad vagina.
I don't disagree with you, Jason. He says if you're not valued at your job in relation to your worth, then leave and get another one. The concept to loyalty to a company died out with pension plans. And you're absolutely right. I'm actually leaving my current company for something similar to that. I'm not saying I'm not valued, but at the same time, when you're given a budget to pay your employees and it's not good enough, I don't blame management. I blame the people given the budgets. But at the same time, I should get paid. So I'm leaving. There's plenty of other reasons as to why, but that's a big one. But at that company, I really enjoyed working for the place. I loved my job. I loved the people I worked with. But all of a sudden, a quick change in management, and everything was flipped upside down. So I tried to salvage what I had with that company. It wasn't like, I was so worried about my tenure, even though I was getting sweet benefits at the time. It was more so I loved my job. I loved the people I worked with. But I even went as far as to talking to people above that person that had appointed her, because I felt the company had made a mistake in hiring that person. And when you have, the owners of the company halfway across the country and everybody else on the other side of the country, it's really hard to see what's going down. You just have to take people's word for it. But if you hear a bunch of voices in dissent to the management you just put in place, maybe you might say, hey, maybe I fucked up. But they didn't.
No.
They only found out that they fucked up when the sex scandal came out.
Everybody be fucking. Everybody be fucking everybody.
They're fucking, and they're setting up meetings on their fucking phones, company paid phones, texting. Oh man, so many text records.
I'm gonna swallow this dick.
You ever seen a sword swallowing chick? It's like that, but with wieners.
But yeah, so as far as the fear about it comes, is like when I was getting fired, I was just like, "What? You're firing me?" After 2 write-ups, I'm like, "What am I gonna do? Oh my god!" Like, I was like, my entire life had stopped. I'm like, "Oh my god, how could they do this to me?" I what I'm trying to do here is transition into our next topic, which is fear. And I'm doing a shitty job of that, but
No, because you're afraid of being fired. You
but
know.
yeah, I'm afraid of being fired, and that was a big one for me. Frank, what are you afraid of?
I'm not.
You're
I
not?
I'm
I figured
afraid.
out
I'm
things.
afraid of. I'm pretty much no. I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of being eaten in the water,
Yeah,
and I'm afraid of shit happening to my kids, and thus the tail end of. I legitimately am not afraid of anything else. I don't really have any phobias.
really. I don't have any specific phobias other than like getting fired and stuff like that. At this point, I've kind of shed my fear of that because it happened, and then it turned out I was okay.
Yeah, the sun rose the next day.
Yeah, and I
You
got
know.
unemployment and
Yeah.
got another job within like 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
life goes on. I think my most I definitely have a phobia of guns. Um, Not necessarily the guns themselves, just people with guns.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's sort of justified.
I mean, it's a fair phobia to have because I think fear is healthy. I think being able to uh, have a concern or a fear of something allows you to be aware and on alert when that shit present. Whenever I see somebody, open carry, walk into a place, I take note of that. I'm like, okay, that person has a gun. If shit goes down, bullets may come from that direction.
And most of the time, they may be the ones that save you.
Yeah, I mean, that very well could be the case. But it could kill you too, on accident. Whoops.
On accident. I mean, like, look, I'm not saying that, like, like if shit's going down, I like make note of like all these like people, but like I really don't like that guy. Some guy pulls a gun, pop, pop, pop. Like, I don't know what happened. This guy just jumped up and I shot him. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I was defending myself, so I wasn't in my right mind. And rage, I'm not afraid of Evan clowns either.
Kyle's afraid of heights, apparently.
We did the VR thing, and there's the program on there where it tries to help you get over your fear of heights, and I think from what I recall, Kyle got kind of queasy
Mhm.
because it puts you in like a skybox and like it hangs you over I think New York,
Sure.
and he's like looking down, and he's like I mean, it's like I know within reason that it wasn't as bad, obviously, because he knows that he's not really there. But I mean, like I was like, because I know that he's not. I know that he's afraid of heights. So I'm like, does that make you feel it? Because I couldn't tell just by talking to him. Like, and I was like, are you like really like, are you actually like afraid? I mean, like, is it doing anything for you? And he was like, yeah, no, that's not good. I ain't gonna bring my 2 kids. I see a guy packing in the same aisle as me. Really, I've never had a problem with people open carrying, but I guess it's probably because I open carry.
I mean, it doesn't like send shivers down my spine by any means. It's just like, oh, okay, I need to be aware of that. And I don't know you. I don't trust you. So I don't know. You could be the worst fucking shot on this planet. Who knows? I don't know how good you are with that thing.
I once had one of my cashiers freak out because a customer walked in with a holstered gun. What do we do? Nothing. It's open carry state. Yeah, I get that a lot. I'm afraid of bees. I was walking in a crosswalk downtown and one started buzzing near me. I was flailing like a lunatic, well, like everyone.
Dude, I hate bees. I hate bees.
I think it's because I can see it. Makes it so much funny.
Dude, I fucking can't stand bees.
Grocery store. It's funny, Melissa, because we, in a lot of different circles, you call that they call grocery stores, movie theaters, places like that. They call them soft targets. So, I mean, should an unfortunate situation occur where there would be a mass shooting or whatever, a grocery store A grocery store, a movie theater would be one of the first places that would be thought of to shoot the place up because it's unlikely that you'll find a lot of people that are carrying there. So, I mean, that's why I carry one everywhere to make sure that should the shit hit the fan, should the bullets start to fly, I will at least be able to put down enough fire to get my kids out. I mean, everybody else, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care. That's their problem. But I mean, I dislike whenever people tell me like I can't carry somewhere. It makes me that actually makes me uncomfortable because then they're advertising to everybody that this place there is no one here within reason that can defend themselves.
Right, absolutely, and I agree with that 100%. I mean, I understand the purpose of it. I understand, why it's beneficial. It doesn't make me any less uncomfortable. But I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just gonna deal with it
Right.
because in the event, the bad guys come in and try and rob the place or shoot the place up. Hopefully, fucking, you know, this guy right here with his gun knows how to use it and is going to use it properly and not kill other people by accident.
And just like wipe out like the entire like produce section.
It's like, sorry, I just got this yesterday.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. The only time that I've ever felt like kind of like a little bit leery whenever I saw somebody open carrying was whenever I was in a grocery store and I think I was buying milk, and there was a guy that had just come out of the desert, and he was walking around. He had an AK slung across his back, and that was the only time that I ever felt kind of uncomfortable. And that was just because it was like, but why?
Yeah, that's you're just making a fucking statement at that point. That's not you trying to be prepared for the situation. That's you being a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I mean, and like he wants to make like a big shock jock statement.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be like if I walked into like literally anywhere with my rifle with me. I mean, like you're not. What do you hope to prove other than scare the hell out of literally everyone?
Exactly.
So I mean that I don't I think that's I mean, like if anything, I think it's stupid. And generally speaking, the people that are the ones that do that are probably going to be the ones that are the least competent at using it anyway.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, when you get that training, when you get that experience, you kind of respect it a little bit more, and it's not a statement; it's a tool.
Yeah, you don't it's not like you get a big fucking belt buckle, you want to show it off.
Right.
You get a big fucking rifle, you don't put that shit in your back. I mean, like it has a specific purpose. I mean, like it's home defense, it's for hunting or whatever. With a handgun, it's for personal defense solely. And then whenever like you have someone who actually has used a gun, extensively trained, etc., then a lot of times you probably won't even know they even have a gun on them.
Right.
Like almost nobody ever knows that I have a gun on me, like ever. Because I mean, I don't fucking advertise it because I'm not an idiot, Because right. I mean, like 9/10 of combat is the element of surprise. Absolutely. So I mean, like guy wanders into the grocery store, fires off a couple rounds because he thinks he's hot shit in a champagne glass, and I put 4 into his chest because he just didn't know that I was there.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, if you're casing a place, trying to fucking start some shit or rob the place or kill people, if you don't know who the immediate threats are to you, you're kind of at a disadvantage. I mean, you have the element of surprise first, so you're going to do some damage, but you have no idea who's going to resist. Mm-mm. So that's a counter element of surprise.
Yeah. And Kyle says the only way that what Frank said about the guy with the AK is okay is that he came out of the desert, has no car, and had an emergency. I thought that's what I was kind of thinking. I couldn't be sure one way or the other, but I mean, like that's a very plausible thing. Like he wanders in, like it's on the edge of town or whatever, and he comes and he's got an AK because he's all dusty, dirty, and he just needs to get some food and go home. Fine. I'll buy that because you sure as hell don't want to leave your gun outside. Right. Holy shit. I mean, but I mean. I personally didn't get that vibe from him, but I mean that is entirely plausible. I cannot rule that out. So I mean, Kyle has a very good point.
Good call, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. As far as fears are concerned, mine change all the time.
Depends on what's in the news.
No, it depends on what scary movie I just watched.
Wow.
Like that could totally happen. Like that's why I tend not to watch a lot of scary movies, especially if I'm alone, because I'll have trouble sleeping. I'll be like, man, what really happened? Good thing I got cameras and this pocket knife. You know, I mean, then you start thinking really heavily, like, all right, so I got the cameras, I got good locks on the doors, which don't mean shit, but they could just come into the windows right behind me. What can I do about that? Fucking nothing. I will just die.
Jason says, I understand people's right to carry arms, but being irresponsible in your right is crazy. Correct. Like the people packing heat and REI. What is that? Shopping for holsters and going nuts because customer service asked them to empty the clip. What is REI? But I mean, like if you're shopping specifically for holsters and you're looking for stuff for your gun, you absolutely need to empty your clip. But I mean, I guess that goes with the first part of what you said. I mean, like being irresponsible in your right. I mean, that is crazy. I mean, like you don't pull out a loaded gun with a chambered round, put it down, and be like, I'm looking for a holster for this. Check to see that it fits, and then just kind of pray, I guess, that nothing hits the trigger. I mean, I got a Glock. It takes a little bit to actually shoot the damn thing after a sword chain. Okay, so like it takes a little bit to it takes a bit of work to actually get it to shoot. Like you have to hold it just right. I get that. But I mean, like, I'd still fucking unload the entire thing.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's just part of being responsible, not being a fucking idiot.
Still 100 times more likely to accidentally fire it off when it's chambered and we're fucking ready to go. When there's bullets in it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I always keep it loaded. I always keep one chambered, always. Sure. But I mean, like, if I'm ever taking it out or if I'm messing with it, I mean, like, it all comes undone. So yeah. I mean that's that to me though, but I went through like the 8-hour classes and then all the some of the combat training and whatever. So I mean like I guess like it's not really fair because like I have like more training I guess question mark than some of these guys that like would that because I mean to me like as a responsible gun owner if I was shopping for it and someone says could you empty out the clip for me? Yes, absolutely. I mean I'm gonna take the gun out. It is more for both of us to feel okay at this point. This isn't the Wild West where you take out your revolver and you slap it on the table and be like, give me a whiskey or I'll fucking kill you. It's like, oh, God. We don't need that. Like, I'm shopping for Kenya. I don't want to shoot you in the face. So we need to chill. But you're one of those guys, like, you see something scary and it scares you afterwards?
It just makes me think about it. I mean, I get over it pretty quickly. Like, maybe the next day. But if I watch a movie like... I mean, I don't believe in ghosts. I mean, not in the traditional sense of ghosts. I don't believe in, demons and monsters and shit like that, so...
Fortunate.
Am I just giving you a laundry list of shit to scare me with later? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look, I mean, real talk, I'm notorious for setting stuff up in or around people's houses to scare the shit out of them. Because I live out of town, and sometimes I won't announce myself whenever I come back. So then I will just go out of my way to set something up in your house while you're not there to scare the shit out of you, like a clown suit in the corner or in your closet.
I mean, at least you're doing it like that. At least you're not doing jump scares by yourself. It's like, even you would know that's fucking stupid and you could get shot. Like, good call. Just leave shit behind and go away.
No, I do traps and shit. I'm never there personally because I mean that just invites disaster and it just doesn't feel as smooth, Yeah. It's like perfect crime. Because I also I played a lot of Hitman, and my favorite ones were never like you do something small and a guy goes in to take a shower and the shower head comes off and it hits him in the head and it knocks him down and he drowns in his bathtub. And you were outside, having a mojito. It's just like it's poetry.
Yeah, but that's like perfect circumstances. You're just out there drinking your mojito. I hope it works.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so perfect. Because then whenever it does happen, it's like you get that high, like the
it went all according to plan.
Like I think the most personal thing I'd probably do is I would probably like in the middle of the night, like we would do this, but I would fake where I was, and I would just be down the street from you, and then I would run outside in a clown suit and just stare at one of your security cameras.
Like, I don't know how you'd pull that off. I mean, you would have to have a perfect recorded video playing and being uploaded through Skype and being able to anticipate every one of my fucking questions and responding to them.
Or just be like, oh man, my camera's not working today.
And so you're just talking to your cell phone and just like,
Yeah. And then just, like 5 minutes later, you're like, all right, thanks everybody. And then you shut it down and then it's outside.
That's elaborate, even for you.
No, that's actually not that elaborate. That's not that elaborate. I used to like take fucking. I think we talked about this. Where I used to take the perimeter fire alarms, and then put them throughout my store, like so that people in the middle of the day would go to like open up something like a drawer, and it would set off one of like the 400 decibel perimeter alarms that are supposed to scare bears and shit. It would set them off, like in a confined. Ah! I mean, I would just do it all the time, nonstop, everywhere. I put them in the. I fucking hooked up a bunch of them in the shitter. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
I would probably kill you.
A few of my assistants have threatened my life. My one assistant, apparently, according to the driver, she ran around throwing stuff all over the place, screaming that she was gonna fucking kill me because she ended up hitting like 6 of them that I set up. And it was like, cause she was like, she got the one scared because she opened up the till and it scared her. Then she tried to wanted to scream, so she went into the walk-in to scream because it's a big metal box you could scream in there. And then she opened it up and she went in. She hit the one that I had that was on the floor, and then it went off in the little tiny metal box. And then so she freaked out and ran to the bathroom to go wash her face off because she was so mad. And then the ones in the bathroom went off. I was just bathing in her hatred. I'm like, you're so mad and it's so good.
Yeah, I mean that would take at least 1 or 2 strikes from a baseball bat. Like, yeah, that would happen.
I like to scare people a lot.
Yeah.
I do. I love it. I mean, because I don't get scared, so like I have to like kind of like live vicariously through somebody else. So like I play like a shitload of horror games, and none of them ever bother me. So then I love to watch other people play them, or to play them for other people and watch them freak out. Because to me, I'm just like, but then like my wife's like, no, or she'll just get up and walk out. And I'm like, it hasn't even gotten scary yet. Like I went to go see the new Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Did you ever see it?
No, not yet.
That's unfortunate. It's very good.
I've heard.
I heard it was extremely frightening to a lot of people, and I thought it was exceptionally funny. And there was a guy that was in front of me that made going to see it in the theater, because I went to go see it by myself, which I thought was going to be pointless because all the scary movies I have to go again with somebody.
Yeah.
So, but I figured, fuck it, nobody wants to go with me, I'll go by myself. There was a guy that was sitting in front of me that literally made the movie so amazing. Because the whole time, because he was there by himself too, but he was in the row right in front of me. The whole time, anytime anything happened, oh no, no, oh please no, you crazy! I mean, he was freaking out about everything, and it just made it so good. And I stopped him afterwards because he was sweating by the end of this movie. And I stopped and said, man, I'm so glad you were here. And he's like, first of all, he had that look like, why are you talking to me? And I'm like, you made this movie fucking sublime. Your reactions were delicious. And I was like, I could feel your fear, and it was glorious. Thank you for being here for me to enjoy this movie. And he said, fuck you, and he hated me, so he left.
That is the proper reaction to make to that statement.
I don't think so. I thought it was great.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Fear. I'm actually afraid of a lot, but I don't know. I can't really give you specifics other than, shit that I know would kill you, like.
Like live wires.
Oh,
I'm scared
yeah.
of live wires.
Dude, I've taken classes in AC/DC circuitry. I don't want to fuck with any kind of electrical shit. Like, I mean, unless it's low voltage, like Ethernet or something. If I have to change a light switch, call somebody. 'Cause I don't want to die or burn the house down.
Like the only thing that like scares me, other than like I guess yeah, fear of failure would be one that I guess I could technically be afraid of.
Sure.
I think that like my arrogance kind of gets in the way of being too afraid of that. But the only time I've ever actually been like really afeared, other than like almost being like feel like I'm going to be consumed and anything that I can't see the bottom of, as far as water goes, is like being in there and like cooking dinner or working on the computer or whatever, and then you hear my wife go, "What did you just put in your mouth?" That makes me scared immediately. I mean, like what's even worse is being like whenever she's on the other side of the country and I hear the did you just put that in your mouth? And I'm like,
what? What was it? Find out now.
I'm like keys in hand, and I'm like, they're like 1,700 miles away. What am I gonna do? Nothing. I'm gonna sit here and freak out for like the next 45 minutes.
I can understand that. I mean, I can't relate, but I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fear of failure, that's definitely... I mean, further than fear of failure is, for me, I think I have a big fear of embarrassment. Like, not necessarily, haha, your face is red kind of shit. It's more of a, holy shit, you fucked up so bad that the entire town's gonna talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's super extreme.
Yeah, and it has happened to me before. Like I said, one of those things that have happened to me that was me facing my fear. I'm not so scared of it anymore. But when it happened, I was just like, my life is over. I need to kill myself.
I am luckily blessed without stage fright, so I tend to not really get embarrassed because like I also tend to do things that I think are funny, whether other people think that they're funny or not.
Sure.
Case in point, I dressed up like Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show for like the entirety of Halloween, and it was glorious. And yeah, many laughs and many groups of people. I mean, once you dress in drag in lingerie in front of like fucking auditoriums of people, you don't really have stage fright anymore.
That's understandable. I mean, I don't know if I ever have the balls to do that, but for sure everybody saw your balls. I used to do vocals for a band.
Ryan, you loved it. Stop.
I was lead singer for a band, and I could not, even if there was no fucking audience and we were just practicing, I could not get behind that mic and belt out what I needed to belt out unless I was drunk.
You're like, yeah, we're doing the thing.
Like the PA system wouldn't even pick me up. They're like, you need our instruments are drowning you out. I'm like, then lower your fucking instruments. Like, no,
you guys get quieter.
They're like, no, you need to sing louder. I'm like, I'm fucking yelling. They're like, no, you're not.
Sound off like you got a pair.
And at the time, like, I really didn't like any kind of alcohol other than like Smirnoff Ice. This was when I was like,
the lock is you's a bitch.
This is like 11 years ago, and that was when I just started drinking. I'm like, all right, let's run to the liquor store, give me a 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice. Bam, bam, bam. All right, let's do this.
I can't even imagine what it would be like to put me on an audience and put me in front of an audience and be drunk. Like I mean, everything that we've ever done on this show, and everything that I've ever generally done in front of a group of people has been stone sober, and some of that's pretty fucking horrifying. So I mean, like,
it's so weird too, because like, I mean, to this day I will still have that fear, but then again, it's not just me chatting, it's me.
No, because it's you putting yourself up. Some be like, this guy's got a voice like a fucking like. I don't know. I guess something fucking horrible. I had it, but it was gone. Just assume Lucille Ball was in there.
Sounds like a wood chipper with a cat in it. But But no, I mean, you're putting yourself out there. You don't want to, overextend your voice. You don't want to squeak. You don't want to do any of that shit. So you're like on edge.
No, you gotta scream, dude.
Yeah, dude.
There is only one way, and that is the metal.
I tried to scream earlier in the shower when I was singing, and I was just like, I'm like, that sounds terrible.
That can be music, though. I mean, you just gotta. It's about metal's from here. I mean, you gotta be angry.
Oh, I
and
was.
Let the anger out.
I did that, and then for like the next 6 hours, I was just like, my throat was all fucking scorched from it.
There's a recovery period, but I mean, it's worth it.
Is it really? Is it really?
I mean, it's worth it for me because I didn't do it.
No, okay. Well, at least there's that. All right, before we go, any more fears we need to talk about, guys? I'll give you a minute. What about you, Frank? Anything else on your mind? Other than we should form a metal band?
I mean, that goes without saying.
Obviously.
Oh, newly acquired, not really fear, but concern, I guess. I guess concern's as deep as I'll go. I thought somebody accidentally opened their car door and hit my bike.
Oh, so I understand what you're saying. Fear of breaking the brand new shit you just bought.
Yeah, I mean, like, because on the heels of that was like I have an amazing capacity for violence because I thought that person bumped into my bike and I was ready to shoot them in the face. I mean, it was pretty easy,
dude. I just bought my 2016 Ford Fusion Hybrid black. Drove it off the fucking lot. Within 1 week, fucking semi tosses a big old rock onto my hood, like the chip out of the paint. I was so mad. I'm like, I knew it was gonna happen at one point. I'm like, okay, something's gonna hit. I mean, I'm gonna crack the windshield a little bit. I'm gonna hit the paint job. Something's gonna happen. But 1 week, oh my god, I wanted to cry.
my boss bought a $60,000 CVO. Is the top of the line that you can buy from Harley. He, brum, 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 yeah, gets it to the edge of the parking lot, and part of the pavement kind of came up and went right over. Dropped it down, broke the windshield, scraped up the paint, fucked up the pipes on it. And I'm like, he had got it literally 20 feet and then dropped it. And I was like, it's funny because he's telling me, and this was years ago. He's telling me, and you could just see him just fucking turning purple. He's getting so mad just thinking about it. And I'm like,
sorry.
I'm like, dude, I don't have words. That's fucking sucks. That's the best I got. You're gonna have to do. I mean, I'm sorry.
It's insured, right? You got insurance. Of course you got insurance on it.
Here's the thing. A bike like that expensive, that top of the line, the entire dealership, generally whenever you buy a bike, the entire dealership will come out anyway, regardless of what it is. But this particular bike, the fact that it's so expensive and it's so top of the line, the mechanics and shit will come out too as you're riding away.
Yeah.
So he had full dealership audience, including the customers, watching him drop the bike. Boom, 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 boom.
Absolutely. Shit.
I mean, it's like I just dropped $60,000 on this bike, and then I'm gonna dump it, in this parking lot. Oh God, I can't even imagine. Because my bike was cheap, and like someone bumps into it, and I'm ready to murder him. If my bike was that expensive, I'd burn their whole house down.
Probably.
Like, no, it's fine. No, just breathe deeply. It's
You die now.
You die slow.
Alright, well, I think that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you. We appreciate your support. Seriously, and we didn't even advertise this one, and you guys showed up. Which means you get our notifications. Thank you. Yeah, we kind of just got this thing going last minute, and, a lot of things are going on right now, so we do appreciate you showing up, even though we don't tell you you have to. You're awesome.
It's nice if you do.
Yeah. So, that being said, please like, rate, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your family members how awesome we are so we can grow our audience. Pretty soon we're going to have some swag. I hate using that word, but
Please don't.
t-shirts.
Goody shit.
It's going to happen soon. I know I said that probably like months ago, but I'm saying it again. We're getting close to finalizing that shit.
Because we're working on it.
Working on it. It's a working process.
Perfect things take time.
So we look forward to giving those out, selling them, probably giving them out to our, biggest supporters. So keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate it. I think we're good. You think we're good? I think we're good.
I think I'm fantastic.
The goods.
That's what we'll call it. The goods. Das gut.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot again. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Peace out. Look at this photograph.
God damn it.
It makes me laugh.